All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ryan Shaw here. You who are just joining. I am an account executive here at CampusClarity, and today I do appreciate everyone's time taking a look at how the Campus SaVE Act Title IX training applies to two-year institutions, community colleges, adult learners, and grad students as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. I see more people still joining the call, but what we'll do to begin here is take a look at the meeting agenda, and I certainly do want to be mindful of everybody's time. We do have 30 minutes scheduled today. Also, I want to mention that there is a box down at the bottom of the screen on the dashboard there. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask a question that might arise during the presentation. I'll do my best to answer those. However, get to them, I'll be sure to follow up with you and address those questions afterwards. So today's webinar topic, you all read the email, and I do appreciate that. Two-year institutions, particularly schools with commuter and adult learner demographics, face unique challenges when it comes to selecting the right training program that fits the needs of their specific student population. And so on the screen here is the agenda that we'll go ahead and take a look at. So how to increase participation and completion rates by 90+%, training for adult learners and community colleges, and then integrating your Campus SaVE Act training with your climate survey. Of course, how to comply with changing state requirements within your Campus SaVE Act training program. Then we'll take a quick look at CampusClarity by the numbers. That, I'm guessing, is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll follow that with an optional product demo. Be super quick. If you would like to stay on for that and take a look at a deeper look at our product, then we'll go ahead and do that at that point. Okay. So many of the folks that we surveyed for this webinar didn't necessarily achieve the training completion rates that they would have liked, or that perhaps some of the similar campuses achieved. So I'm going to go ahead and spend just a few minutes discussing some best practices on completion and adoption rates. Ball State, okay, a client of ours, put out this article in April of 2015, which showed that they received 80% or 87% completion rates with just auto reminders. And so when we talk to campuses that get low completion rates, it's not just a vanity or metric. It's compliance metric, but it's a missed opportunity really to reach students. So let's talk about how we can improve some of these completion rates. So promoting at the campus level. So using newsletters, using websites, and we call this a comprehensive ground game with posters, possibly handouts, small group discussions. So this is called Talk About It, and we developed Talk About It with USF. So using additional resources such as PowerPoint presentations, audience assessment, or facilitator-led discussion guides. All of this in a robust attempt to help students feel like they want to take the course and not that they just have to take the course. All right, and of course, incentives or disincentives. So at our annual summit before NASPA, we heard from Yale and USF about giveaways. We heard about lotteries, possibly first pick at housing, registration holds, and fines. There's certainly a wide range of ideas out there. And also, yes, incentives are commonly used in both training and climate survey best practices. So having a large respondent pool will yield the most accurate and representative results. So to get a large sample size, offer incentives, survey completion. However, make sure that you know how much or what kind of incentive will be the most appealing to your students. So simply giving out more money may not lead to more respondents. So for example, there is proven significant increase in survey completion moving from $10 to $20, but not much of a significant increase moving from $20 to $40. So knowing your institution is paramount here, and nobody knows your institution and what might work better than yourself. Okay, so whether it's our program or something else, if you're going to take the time, if you're going to take the resources and the funding to put together a training program, no matter the size or the scope, using email reminders is paramount. So we want to think we send it out once, right, and the students take it on the spot, but that obviously doesn't happen. So having the tools to get better adoption is important. and also knowing what time to send out the email or what subject line to use really makes a dramatic, significant difference in participation rates. Okay, we also learned some great insight at the annual summit about having a 100% completion goal. Campus Clarity has helped many get to 90%, but that last 10% is really hard. Now, David Lindsay from Yale spoke at the annual summit about the difficulty of getting the bar so high and how calling students, actually picking up the phone and calling students, depending on the size of your institution, or perhaps an email from the provost or someone higher up can really make a huge difference to help you achieve that last 10%. And then, of course, don't be afraid to think out of the box. Nobody knows your institution better than you, so get creative. There are several different ways that you can get the word out, using website, using art, using music, however you'd like to get that across to your student population. All right, so let's take a look and dive in at what training for adult learners in community college should look like. One of the early mistakes that we made here at Campus Clarity, we quickly corrected, and that was providing undergrad training to community colleges and adult learners. So many campuses focus solely on incoming students and exclude all continuing years. The Campus SaVE Act applies to all students as a primary prevention training program, and then annual ongoing program every year. So whether you build your own or use a third-party solution, getting this right is critical to providing an effective, age-appropriate experience for all audience types. And what we're hearing from community colleges is that they have a unique challenge as it relates to non-traditional students. So commuter students, adult learners, all of this complying with the Campus SaVE Act mandate is a challenge. So when preparing to train their students, they have to account for the fact that a training program designed for an 18-year-old living on campus is not going to work for their student population. The student experience is vastly different, and that needs to be taken into consideration in how a Campus SaVE Act program is designed and deployed for community colleges. So the use of older, more mature silhouettes in the training course ensures resonance. Also, using age-appropriate situational scenarios with real-world case studies, so your student body will appreciate suitable context and help increase completion rates. The training you provide is certainly important for the Title IX and Campus SaVE Act mandates, but this is information that the learner is going to take with them into their daily lives, whether it be at work or whether it be in a social setting. So it's important that we're actually teaching something that they can learn. All right, so integrating your Campus SaVE Act training with your climate survey. Now, most institutions are under scrutiny to affect culture change and do more than just check the box. So the best way to really look at efficacy is to do a comparative analysis with primary programs, with follow-ups, and with annual climate surveys. So many of you have indicated in our registration survey that you've done or are planning a survey. Now at Campus Clarity, we see this as interlinked. So we don't want to help see the gaps and fill those gaps with programming. Climate survey can be administered in a variety of ways, but it just makes sense to have all the data and tools stored in the same place. Okay, so survey builder tool. This is the back-end survey deployment page that only the administrators will see. Now here you can give a customized description of why and the how they survey, and then you can also customize your internal review board consent page. So Campus Clarity, the climate survey, is also fully customizable. So developing customized demographic questions and selecting the question types. And we can also customize the questions themselves in the builder portion. Now, the Campus Clarity climate survey is preloaded with the White House survey. So what you're going to ask is a complex and sensitive issue. And we're seeing institutions take different approaches here. So from using internal expertise, leveraging outside resources like those provided by notalone.gov, and then of course any third-party consultants. So another key component to a climate survey, especially to help completion rates, is something called skip logic, which you may be familiar with here. And so this is built right into our program. So climate survey have a main goal of gauging the prevalence and the incidence of sexual assault on a college campus. So to do so, it's important to ask people if they have experienced certain actions or behaviors relating to sexual misconduct. Now, if a person answers yes, you might want to gain a little more insight into the circumstances. For example, Where did the incident occur? Or who was the perpetrator? Was alcohol involved? But if someone never experienced a type of incident, then there's no need to burden them with unnecessary questions. So skip logic is certainly an important way to increase your completion rates by removing irrelevant questions. And finally, let's take a look here at how two-year institutions can best comply with changing state requirements within your Campus SaVE Act training program. So the point here is that, we know state and federal regulations are a moving target. And we know that laws change and need to be updated. So if you have, a general counselor monitoring the laws, then you know that you're already taking steps to address this. But really knowing how those laws are integrating into your training with the context is critical. So CampusClarity, we have 12 lawyers on staff to monitor the law and update these courses with context as needed. So this really is a Herculean task that requires knowledge on how those changes affect the course on every page. So in California, we just had yes means yes consent law update. And so as laws change, updates are required. And the reason that we've had so much success is that there isn't any solution out there, there isn't any other solution out there that is providing a level of compliance and quality that our program offers. So the course needs to be state-specific with the law integrated in plain English. Now, we've built 50 courses for 50 states, and we have 12 lawyers on staff to make sure that these courses meet the letter of the law and remain up to date. And with California, yes means yes, and now we have New York, not enough is enough. We really see a sign of things to come. We see this was signed into law July 7th. So reporting and climate survey requirements are due by July 1st of this year. So you can see that these changes are coming state by state. Illinois, another change here, preventing sexual violence. So this new law also requires annual training for employees. Employees who receive student reports of sexual interpersonal violence, any employee who refers students to victim services or involved in conduct proceedings. So obviously we have California, we have New York, now we have Illinois. And so finding a program that is tailored to age-appropriate learners, such as two-year institutions, somebody who might be commuting, somebody who has a family, who has a day job. Also a training platform that can update any of these changing laws that we see taking place from state to state is certainly paramount. So let's take a look at CampusClarity by the numbers and how we're going to be best suited to help you achieve high completion rates, age-appropriate course content. So we train over 1.5 million students and employees this year, and we work with over 1,500 different organizations to use our platform. Now in 2013, we had only 20 hired institutions, and now we're up to almost 600. So some of our more well-known and respected institutions, we work with Yale on the East Coast, we have Stanford on the West Coast, we train the whole UC system. We also train the entire Washington State Board of Community and Technical Colleges. We have a firm grasp in both 4-year and 2-year institutions. Now that really is an overview of how CampusClarity is going to best help deliver compliance training to a 2-year institution with age-appropriate, holistic approach to training. If you'd like, I'm going to spend probably the next 5 to 10 minutes here, show you a little bit deeper dive into our courses and the look and feel of how they work. Educational design, and we're best known for instructional design aspects that have won NASPA and Stevie Awards. So student-focused and developed with over 40 student focus groups and 18 different institutions. So here you're taking a look at a party scenario using silhouettes, which we found students are very receptive to since it removes any of the racial bias and facial expressions. So different scenarios are taking place here in different rooms. The learner will go ahead and feel free to click on whichever room that they would like to take a peek into. And we notice here in the upstairs room, Alan is taking a very intoxicated Dominique into a bedroom. And as a bystander, what are we supposed to do now? So we go get Nabuki to confront Alan. Now, Alan says that Dominique is fine, and they've been dancing all night. Now, we ask the question, what's the Nabuki say? So I answer, well, if she's been dancing all night, she's probably interested, right? Well, that's a wrong answer. That is the bad call. Dancing is not consent. So I go back and I answer, I don't think that's a good idea. She really has had a lot to drink. Why don't you call her tomorrow? And so now Alan hands Dominique to Nabuki, and we've intervened to stop a potential sexual assault. Again here, the purpose is to tackle the nuance of what happens in daily life, college daily life, whether it be an 18-year-old, whether it be a 25-year-old, whether it be a 40-year-old with a family and a full-time job. All right, so nice work. This can be intimidating, but it's important to act when you think something is wrong. So it's critical that there's going to be learning points so that the students can't go on autopilot and just click through the material without paying attention and being engaged. Now, when I get the answer incorrect, then I have to go back and get it right to move on. And if I get it right, then I've earned 10 points, and so now I'm on my way to earning a badge. Now, this is a great tool here. We believe it's critical to incorporate substance and alcohol abuse prevention into the course, as oftentimes alcohol abuse, substance abuse, is a driver behind sexual assault. So this is a very innovative way to assess how alcohol is affecting decisions and judgment around driving and consenting to sex. So I've inputted the drinks that I've had, and I'm intoxicated. I'm certainly not legal to drive, and I'm definitely incapable of giving consent for sex. Now, at CampusClarity, we also have employee training. So we have a course called Intersections, which covers sexual harassment, Title IX, and Campus SaVE Act. But we do have a Bridges course, which is shorter, and that covers only the Title IX and the Campus SaVE Act. And in these courses, along with the community college courses and adult learner courses, we use older, more mature silhouettes. We use real-world case studies. Here you have a scenario where a student is being harassed by a chemistry professor. So the student goes to the dean and says, is being harassed by a chemistry professor. The student then goes to the dean. Well, what should the dean do? So the dean should go to the Title IX coordinator. And so we get feedback, and we can see the real-world case scenario that this actually applied in. Also, tailored experience. Okay, it's going to be critical that the course is tailored to the institution so there's a consistent message across the organization. So the course has to have the look and feel of each unique campus to maximize the learning experience. So there'll be a welcome page with an institutional logo and the name. Welcome note from your president or your provost, a familiar face inviting students to a critical first step in the college career. Campus photos are also integrated to have more of a campus personalized look and feel. This is all tailored, and all will significantly help you increase your completion rates. Sexual misconduct policy integrated with an electronic signature required. So solid record keeping in the event of an incident down the road. So now I've given you a quick overview of the CampusClarity product, some of the look and feel of that. We've talked about how some of the best practices of getting higher completion rates for your Campus SaVE Act Title IX training, and a quick overview of integrating the climate survey into your training programs. Are there any questions that I can answer here at this time? We have about 10 minutes left. Okay. Yeah, so we're talking about, I do have a question of students who are not on campus. Can they access state-specific? So if I have an online learner that is taking, let's say, an online class in Arizona, but I reside in California, and the answer is absolutely yes. We can tailor any of the courses that you need with state-specific courses. So if you have a group of students who reside outside your state taking courses online, then we will customize that portion of the course so that you can deploy that state-specific course to the outside adult learners. Thank you very much. All right, so if I don't have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me via email if you think of anything afterwards. I do have a recording of what we discussed today. If you'd like a copy of that, I'm more than welcome to send that out to you as well, or any of your colleagues. If you would like to request a full demo or talk a little bit deeper about how CampusClarity might be a good fit for your institution, please let me know. And I really do appreciate everybody taking the time to take a look at the CampusClarity product with me on the call today. If there's any other questions, I'll go ahead and leave the slide up here for a few more minutes. I have my contact name, contact number, and email on the slide here. Reach out to me. Thank you all so much. Appreciate your time.